From brief run-ins with the law to serious sentences, here's a countdown of the top 10 YouTubers who found themselves behind bars, from the shortest to the longest sentences. Starting with Logan Paul.
I feel like we need to spice it up a little bit. I understand drone shots here are illegal, so let's definitely do that.
This was the moment Logan Paul, being true to his nature, made a silly decision that led to his arrest in Italy. Mr. Paul here barely needs an introduction. He and his brother Jake gained popularity back in 2013, posting skits on the former video-sharing app Vine. He then registered his first YouTube channel, the official Logan Paul, around October 2013, where he started posting regular vlogs, following the closure of Vine. Then, seeing how much traction he was getting on YouTube, he created his official Logan Paul Vlogs channel, which has since become his most subscribed YouTube channel to date. As of right now, this channel has over 23 million subscribers with nearly 6 billion views. But before climbing up that ladder of fame, Logan has had his fair share of controversy in the eyes of the media, one of which was his arrest in Italy. September 30th, 2017. Logan posted a video to his channel titled, "I got arrested by Italian police, not clickbait." In this video, Logan and his brother Jake Paul went on a trip to Italy. While on this trip, they decided to fly drones near the Colosseum in Rome. It would appear that one of the drones may have malfunctioned or failed to work properly, causing it to land somewhere in the proximity of this historic monument. Consequently, the military and police were called to question both Jake and Logan before taking them into custody. At some point in the video, you can hear Logan talking to somebody who's supposedly law enforcement. They say,
The fly of a drone in this area is illegal.
No bueno.
I must arrest you for this.
Okay.
One of his friends then takes over the vlog and confirms that police have taken Logan. There's also footage of what appears to be Logan sitting in the police station. His friend Andy then comes over to pick him up, but again the video cuts to black, and all we have is audio. In the end, Logan was released from the station with his drone intact. However, he wasted no time to brag about the fact that he had just been arrested in the most Logan Paul way possible.
Yo, I'm a savage, bro. Free my boy Logan Paul. I went to jail, bro. I've been in jail, bro.
The video has since amassed more than 8 million views, but some of his fans condemned his actions in the comments by saying, "Now I know why it's a stereotype that people hate American tourists. Listen, Logan, sometimes you're cool, but sometimes you lack respect to other people and places. Please respect places and people, especially if you're in other countries." And,
"Logan, I like your vlogs and all, but honestly, all this is disrespectful. Shouting in the streets, being rude to police who are there to keep the city safe, flying illegal drones, breaking hotel property and jumping off a bridge. The Maverick is a movement, but not a form of disrespect to a country that you're not even from. Logan, I understand it's for views, but at least show some respect."
it was obvious that this daring act from Mr. Paul didn't sit right with his fans. And although he only got to spend a couple hours behind bars, SS Sniper Wolf unfortunately spent longer for doing far less. For some context, Leah Shalesh, better known online as SS Sniper Wolf, is an English-American YouTuber. Born in October 22, 92, of Iraqi, Greek, and Turkish descent, Leah grew up in Liverpool, England with her 2 younger brothers, Bakir and Paul, and 1 younger sister, Rania. At the age of 6, her entire family would move to Phoenix, Arizona, where Leah's life would change forever. While in Arizona, Leah ended up graduating high school early, getting a head start in college, and studying both pharmacy and nursing. Very early on, however, she dropped out and eventually took up a job working in Hollister before quitting due to her rude manager. And it was at this point that she first met her now estranged husband, Evan John Young, also known as Sausage on YouTube. The two got married in 2013, and even though they're now split up, John propelled Leah to become one of the biggest YouTubers out there. But on the other hand, he was responsible for her spending 3 good days in jail. You see, the year she got married to John was also the year she started her YouTube channel, SS Sniper Wolf, back when YouTube was relatively new, and this alias was derived from her favorite video game as a child, Metal Gear Solid, where one of the main bosses and antagonists was named Sniper Wolf. Now, before she got famous on this platform, Leah would have a controversial run-in with the law. According to her side of the story, she was arrested because her neighbors heard her screaming with her boyfriend and called the cops. As a result, she spent 3 days in prison before she was released without any charges being pressed. She made this known in a YouTube video she released after the incident.
So of course I was screaming, and then I run outside and I start screaming.
She'll go into detail about how, according to Arizona's law, if 2 people are in an argument, they both get arrested. and the reason for her arrest was given as disorderly conduct.
And you know what I got arrested for? I got arrested for disorderly conduct. Apparently you're not allowed to scream in your own house.
And while some of her fans believe there's more to that story than she revealed, the case of Vitalized TV left no missing details due to the sheer depravity of the actions committed. January 2020, Vitaly Zdorowetsky, known online as Vitalized TV, spent 5 days incarcerated at a hellish prison in Egypt for climbing to the top of the Pyramid of Giza. Now, this stunt was daring and certainly required nerves of steel to be pulled off, but it didn't come as a surprise given the utterly ridiculous types of stunts Vitaly is known for. In 2012, he achieved his first milestone of success after releasing a YouTube video titled Miami Zombie Attack Prank. Now, in this video, Vitaly dressed up as a zombie, traveling to some of the poorest neighborhoods in Miami to scare some random bystanders. This video earned him a ton of backlash from fans, but at the same time, was watched over 30 million times. From there, Vitaly went on to perpetuate some of the most bizarre pranks you can think of. From his not-so-amusing gold diggers pranks to invading the field during the 2014 FIFA World Cup between Germany and Argentina, this guy's done it all, while also succeeding in getting himself banned from every stadium in the world. Now in 2020, Vitaly's fans were treated to another of his ridiculous stunts after he posted a now-deleted Instagram photo of his feet dangling over the Pyramid of Giza, with the pyramid complex seen in the background. He captioned the post,
"No words can explain what I just went through in the past 5 days. I was locked up in Egypt because I climbed the pyramids of Giza. I've been in jail many times, but this one was by far the very worst. I saw horrible things, and I don't wish this upon anybody."
He then took to his IG story to post more pictures of this stunt. In one snap, 2 figures were captured scaling the pyramid, with one of them arrowed with the word "me" and the other one with the words "catch me if you can," making us believe the second person was security. Now on his YouTube channel with over 10 million subscribers, he posted a video of the stunt where he left this message.
"Stop the war. Help Australia. Let's raise money. My business for a good cause."
And if you're wondering how climbing the Pyramid of Giza correlates with a war in Australia, well, we're just as confused as you are. And even more confusing is that he attempted this stunt knowing fully well that in November 2019, the Egyptian parliament ruled that anyone who was found climbing any antiquity without obtaining a license could face at least 1 month's imprisonment and possibly a fine between $600 and $6,000. So maybe he should have been lucky he only got 5 days. And despite his claim that it was worth it, we certainly don't think so, given that the video had amassed only 1.1 million views since it was posted, which is relatively low compared to his other YouTube videos. And the comments were filled with tons of fans condemning the act. One user wrote,
"1 minute of silence for idiots who donated money on his link,"
while another wrote,
Can someone tell me the connection between climbing a pyramid and helping Australia? LOL.
To top it all off, this same dude was arrested in Miami a few months after for randomly striking a female jogger in the face. And maybe that was just one of his more moronic stunts. But it definitely can't be compared to that of YouTuber Mona Lisa Perez, who shot and killed her boyfriend for views. You see, back in 2017, Pedro Ruiz III, an aspiring YouTube star from rural Minnesota, spent a lot of time persuading his then-girlfriend, Mona Lisa Perez, to fire a bullet at a hardcover encyclopedia placed over his chest. In his mind, these magical pages would stop the bullet. However, common sense would tell you what would happen. You see, 3 months before that, the couple posted regular clips of their daily lives and that of their young daughter to their YouTube channel. When this wasn't getting as much traction as they wanted, they switched up things to be more of a minor prank situation. Pranks like coating donuts with baby powder instead of powdered sugar, feigning paralysis from a grocery store wheelchair, and maybe hiding hot pepper in an egg salad sandwich. Now, these pranks scaled up their channel a bit, but it still wasn't enough. So Pedro here was eager to make his name on his video streaming platform and told Perez to film this stunt with him. And after much consideration, she agreed. June 2017. Mona Lisa Perez, who was pregnant at the time, stood at point-blank range to Ruiz as he held that book up to his chest. She then aimed the gun, a Gold Desert Eagle 50 caliber pistol, one of the most powerful semi-auto handguns in the world, and fired the shot. The bullet pierced right through that book and straight into his body, killing him on the spot, all displayed right in front of their 3-year-old baby. Immediately after this whole stunt went wrong, Perez called 911, but by the time they got there, Ruiz was confirmed dead. Now here's the kicker. Perez told dispatchers the shooting was accidental and explained the YouTube plan. She also mentioned that they had shot another book prior, one that had blocked the bullet, and that convinced her that if tried with another book, the plan would work. Consequently, she was arrested on a charge of reckless discharge of a gun, but that charge was later upgraded to second-degree manslaughter. She's looking at a max sentence of 10 years behind bars, but after taking a plea deal, she dropped it to 6 months, with 10 years of supervised probation. She was also required to pay restitution for the boyfriend's funeral, which was held 4 days after his death, and their YouTube channel was taken down from the platform. That was a lot to digest, but it was also the precise treatment that users of the platform anticipated to be given to the group of YouTubers, Troll Station, following their orchestration of perhaps the most outrageous prank of all time, resulting in over 9 months of imprisonment. July 5th, 2015. 4 members of London-based YouTube channel with over 1.4 million subscribers, collectively called Troll Station, pulled tights over their heads and went to the National Portrait Gallery to stage a fake art heist. They smuggled ridiculous paintings into the gallery's BP Portrait Award exhibition in trash bags and then pretended they were robbing high-value artworks. One of the men, Endrit Farazali, took a speaker system that let off the alarm into the Wolfson Gallery as another perpetrator, Danny Van Lee, filmed innocent people panicking. One woman even passed out from the shock, and these guys even took it further. They headed to the Tate Britain Gallery with fake paintings, causing more havoc. And by the time they had the footage needed to be posted on their YouTube channel, they headed out, but were almost immediately arrested by cops. May 2016. All 4 men, Jarvis, Mensah, Farazali, and Gomez, admitted to 2 counts of using abusive words and behavior, causing fear of unlawful violence at City of London Magistrates Court. Jarvis was handed a 5-month sentence. Farazali was given 4, while Gomez and Mensah were each given 4.5 months in prison. Von Lee, the founder of Troll Station, had previously been sentenced to 6 months for orchestrating a separate prank. In this incident, a 15-year-old boy dropped a suitcase with a clock inside it next to strangers at bus stops and then recorded their frightened reactions. The footage was later posted to a different YouTube channel, and due to both charges, he was ultimately sentenced to a total of 9 months in prison. One of their attorneys tried getting him a reduced sentence, giving their pranks were mere jokes, just poorly executed. But if that was possible, maybe YouTuber Kangwa Ren wouldn't have been sentenced to 15 months in jail for his humiliating prank on a homeless man. You see, back in 2017, YouTuber Kangwa Ren accepted a dare from a subscriber to scrape the cream out of an Oreo cookie and replace him with toothpaste. At that time, Ren, known for his YouTube channel Reset, was among the most popular YouTubers in Spain and Latin America, having over 1.1 million subs with just 50 videos on his channel. And although he was born in China, he lived in Spain with his family, and it was in the city of Barcelona that this pointless dare was carried out. He found a Romanian man who was living on the streets and handed him the cookies, along with a $20 note. After having a bite of the biscuit, the man vomited, with Ren catching it all on tape. He proceeded to post the video to his channel, but the replies weren't what he expected. The video caused an uproar and was taken down after a few days. Reset then posted a supposed apology video where he acknowledged he was going too far, but went ahead to go ahead and make fun of the man by saying the cookies must have helped him clean his teeth, since he might not have done that while living on the street. Again, this apology sparked outrage, making YouTube take his video down within a week. Ren then sought out the homeless man and gave his daughter $300 to persuade her not to take legal action. Unfortunately for him, it was too late. He was arrested and convicted of violating the moral integrity of the homeless man. Consequently, he was given 15 months in prison and ordered to pay his victim 20,000 euros in moral damages. A judge in Barcelona also banned him from having any social media accounts for the next 5 years. As deserving as that might sound, we don't think Ren actually served any jail time, as Spanish law tends to suspend short prison sentences for first-time offenders. Now, in the case of Ruslan Sokolovsky, he spent more time in jail than all the other YouTubers we've discussed put together. In August 2016, Ruslan filmed a video of himself playing Pokemon Go in a church while service was ongoing, and it just so happened to be that this church was built on the spot where the last Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, and his family were murdered in 1918. But even worse was that he explained that he made this video video in response to a law that was passed in Russia earlier that year, prohibiting Russians from playing Pokemon Go in certain locations, including places of worship. Now, in this video, he made offensive statements in the form of a church hymn and ridiculed Christianity as a whole. After uploading the video to his channel, it was criticized not much by his followers, but largely by TV networks in Russia. One news broadcast said that his video was offensive to the feelings of believers, and that the Russian Orthodox Church also complained about Mr. Sokolovsky's video in its publications, calling it a horrific act that disparaged the church. Now, this case also opened up doors for further scrutiny into Sokolovsky's YouTube videos, leading authorities to find one video titled, "An Ideal Orthodox Marriage?" In this video, he mocked the religious guidance on how to create a good family, making authorities believe once again that this video might offend the feelings of believers. Within a month, this man was arrested from his apartment and charged with the incitement of hatred, public acts aimed to insult the feelings of religious believers, and illegal sale of special technical resources used for secret surveillance, because a camera pen was found in his apartment. He was first placed on house arrest, but was later taken to a pre-trial detention center for breaching the terms of his house arrest, after Sokolovsky foolishly posted a video on the internet, even though he had been banned from using the web and mobile communications. May 2017, he was given 3.5 years behind bars after being found guilty on all charges. Is that a lot of time for playing a video game in a church? Well, in Russia, it certainly wasn't. To put into perspective why, 2 other women were jailed back in 2012 for conducting an unauthorized performance in Moscow against Vladimir Putin, earning them 2 years behind bars. The judge in the case also said Sokolovsky's video showed his disrespect for society and that he intended to offend religious sentiments. He could have gotten the max sentence of 7 years, but prosecutors only sought half of that. And in the end, he apologized for his actions as he was led out of court to serve his sentence. A sentence that was just half of what fellow YouTuber Stanislav Reshetnikov received for killing his girlfriend while on live stream. In December 2020, 30-year-old Stanislav Reshetnikov hurled abuses at his girlfriend, 28-year-old Valentina Valya Grigorieva, as he attacked her in his home in Moscow. This attack was a result of a viewer on his live stream allegedly paying him $1,000 to do so. He then proceeded to criticize blonde Valentina by calling her a prostitute and smelly, while striking her head repeatedly. At one point, she was stripped down to only her underwear and locked outside in the freezing cold while he continued his stream. After some time, he went to check on her but found out that she was no longer responsive. Any normal person should have called emergency services right away, but not Reshetnikov. Instead, he went back to live streaming while sipping some wine in the corner. After some time, he went to check up on her again, and once he confirmed that she was actually dead, he lifted her lifeless body and threw it on the couch in his room while sobbing to his viewers. Unfortunately, this wasn't the first time this horrific person did horrible things to his girlfriend. In a previous broadcast, Reshetnikov showered Valentina with pepper spray after another viewer made a donation. So Valentina's demise at the hands of this sick YouTuber was bound to happen. It was only a matter of time. It didn't take long before one of his equally sick viewers called the cops on him, promptly leading to his arrest. At first, reports claimed that Valentina froze to death, but forensic examination later concluded a head injury sustained during his initial attack was the cause of her death. An autopsy also showed that her corpse had craniocerebral trauma and multiple bruising on the face and hemorrhaging of soft tissues. He was convicted of intentionally causing serious bodily harm and putting human life in danger by using an object as a weapon, which resulted in the victim's death. And for these charges, he was given 6 years to be served in a strict penal colony. And since we're talking about murder here, some say his sentence should have been more, but maybe not as much as Ryan Stone's 160-year sentence for theft and carjacking.
Guilty on 18 of 20 counts. That is the verdict from a Douglas County jury for the man who led police on this high-speed chase through Metro Denver.
Driver Ryan Stone hoped to profit from his internet fame after the video was posted online.
March 12, 2014. Ryan approached members of the Longmont Fire Department and asked for a ride to a homeless shelter. But midway through the journey, Ryan was dropped off and entered a gas station where he saw a red Ford Edge with the engine running. Without having a look around, he got into this vehicle and drove off, beginning what has now been dubbed a real-life GTA car chase. Unknown to Ryan, there was a 4-year-old in the back seat, and the mother immediately alerted the police. Driving at 100 miles an hour, Ryan ran into the front side passenger bumper of a 2011 tan Kia minivan and pulled in front of it. He ran up to the driver, grabbed her by the legs and ankles, and forced her out of the vehicle, taking control and driving off. And in typical GTA fashion, he bumped and hijacked cars along the Longmont area in Colorado. The chase went on for more than an hour, but it was after he stole a silver Toyota sedan that the chase began nearing its end. After getting stuck between two cars, Ryan got out of the car and attempted to flee on foot. He ran around the back of the shopping center before attempting to jump over a 6-foot wrought iron fence. When he noticed he was unable to, he ran a little further before surrendering to deputies approaching him. Now here's the thing. Despite injuring a trooper who tried to stop him and recklessly damaging multiple cars during this chase, Ryan felt almost no remorse for his actions. While awaiting his court hearing, Ryan answered a few jail calls from family and friends who came to visit. During these calls, he sounded disturbingly ecstatic about the fact that his actions had made the news outside the U.S.
Yeah, my lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia.
And thought about how he could get the profits from the clips of the chase posted on YouTube.
You get paid by YouTube. Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News.
And while none of that happened, Ryan Stone was given 160 years in prison. And now you're probably thinking which YouTuber could have received a longer sentence than that. Well, given that Ryan would possibly be granted parole, let's say after 75 years, YouTuber Mr. Anime takes the #1 spot on this list for his life imprisonment sentence after he murdered his entire family. March 20th, 2012, better yet known as Mr. Anime, committed probably the most idiotic killing spree ever recorded. Obsessed with dark anime and guns, Sessler murdered his entire family while trying to conceal from his plan to kill 70 people at his high school's prep rally. Conversely, the plan never materialized, meaning he killed his family for nothing. But before any of this happened, Trey would graduate from high school and begin looking for a stable job to settle down. Unfortunately, that job hunt was futile, as he couldn't land any. This forced him to live with mom and dad in Waller, Texas. Now, while living with them, Trey got into some unnecessary fights with his dad. It got so bad that he knew whether or not he found a job, he needed to move out. And that was the moment he turned to YouTube. September 2006, Trey made his first channel under the name LensCap Productions, where he would upload short films and bloopers of mainly himself, but would sometimes include his brother and parents too. Nearly a year after making that channel, he made a new one called Mr. Anime, where he changed his content to reviewing TV series and movies in the anime genre. But within this period, Trey would develop a bizarre obsession with dark-styled anime and guns. Now, this obsession grew with the fact that the anime and movies he reviewed usually had a dark theme, and by 2011, he would openly pose with guns in his videos. As you can tell, he was finally able to get out of his parents' house, allowing him the freedom to pose with as many guns as possible. So this guy was obsessed with historical school shooters, like the Columbine shooters, where they took out 12 students and a teacher before killing themselves, as well as notorious serial killers like Ted Bundy. Trey would go as far as to download a satellite map of his old school, Waller High School, to plan a massacre of his own. Now, his plan consisted of him ramming his car through the gate into the courtyard before getting out and unloading on as many people as possible with a .22 rifle. During this time, rumors had started to circulate online that he was using live animals, including his pet rabbit, as target practice. People in his fan base had also started to notice the content of his videos transitioning from anime reviews to gun classes.
Oh, how you doing, everyone? It's Mr. Anime. Or you can call me Trey. You can call me the guy that does the video game reviews. You can call me the guy that does all the gun stuff now.
And just a few days before the shooting, Trey left a cryptic message in his last video titled, "Mr. Anime is planning something."
I'm gonna reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular.
The night before the incident, Trey stayed up drinking liters of alcohol before arming himself with multiple firearms as he headed for his parents' home. On the day of the incident, Trey called his mom to come out and help him in the garage. Once she got there, he shot her 4 times until she died, covering all the garage in her blood. His brother Mark heard that gunshot and went to check in the garage. Trey immediately shot his brother, who didn't die immediately, but then followed him to a corner to finish the job. His father was still sleeping in bed, so Trey went into his room and shot the old man dead. At this time, his neighbors had informed the police of suspicious noises coming from the Sessler home, and by the time the cops arrived, they found a bloody scene with no shooter in sight. Trey became a suspect when they saw the message he scribbled on a door, claiming remorse for his actions. Immediately, a hunt was launched, and he was found getting ready to carry out the shooting close to his former high school. In his car, they found an estimated 100 rounds of ammo and a High-Point Model 995 carbine rifle, the same ones used by the Columbine shooters in 1999. August 2nd, 2012, Trey Sessler pled guilty and was given life in prison without the possibility of parole. Since then, he has shown contentment with being in jail and accepted that it is where he truly belongs.